when I was reading it, I was like, I'm the perfect person to discuss this book because I am a karaoke queen.
Oh my God. Okay, tell me, what's your go-to?
I mean,
you rock it.
I always do Alanis Morissette. You ought to know.
Good, yeah.
What's your karaoke song?
I haven't been in a while, but when I used to go, it was Alana Miles, Black Velvet.
Oh my God, yes.
Just
brilliant.
You have to be careful in karaoke because like you have to know in advance, unless you really don't care. You're just drunk with your mates. But like some songs have like a big instrumental in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of feel like an idiot, like standing up there, like swaying while the instrumental part goes.
See, I don't care.
Mimicking a saxophone. You know.
I'm like, rock on. I'll do the dance, everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We have to go karaoke.
Please. And as I was reading the book, I kind of felt like it was a bit of a manifesto for like anyone that's a bit cringed out for doing karaoke. Go
that
for
means
it.
you should be doing it. If
Yeah.
If the thought of karaoke makes you cringe, that is a sign from the universe that's saying you have a little block there. You're feeling a little bit embarrassed about yourself, your voice, being in front of people. That, you know, I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, but like maybe just try like in a booth with some trusted friends, just let loose.
You've even said in the book, now correct me if I'm wrong, that you feel, well, you're a musician that also happens to be a writer.
Yeah, right? I think I said something about like my imposter syndrome as a writer because I didn't start out as a writer. I mean, I've always been a reader and like dabbled, but never saw myself as a writer. I was a musician. I was a singer and a pianist who got into writing because like I could tell that wasn't going to work out for me as a career, you know, for loads of reasons.
Tell me, go on.
Well, no, obviously there's the self-doubt, like, am I good enough to do this? Can I hack it? But also the insecurity of like, you know, not knowing where the next job was going to be. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to live like that because I am a very anxious person and needed a bit more job security. And also, as I write about in the book, just the fact of like perennially having to put your body in front of other people and be judged on it. Yeah. I mean, I think that that's astonishing. I understand why it is that way. But I don't think it needs to be quite as like ableist and fat shaming and, you know, sort of controlling and patriarchal as it is. I mean, I was like 16, 17 years old, like thinner, like I'm like a relatively, you know, small person and thinner than I am now because I was so young. And I would be told to lose, you know, 5 pounds. I'd be like, but 5 pounds like that, I don't really have 5 pounds to lose, or I would be, you know, one of those extremely skinny girls. And I had this big instrument and I just instinctively felt like, no, I need to be strong for my instrument. Like I need to be building muscle and not like wasting away. And they told me I needed a nose job and like, fuck that shit. Like that, sorry. But like, that's crazy. And a lot of girls in my high school did get nose jobs.
I remember you saying, because I think you say it in the book, that Barbara Streisand
but Barbara would not get one because they couldn't guarantee that it wouldn't affect her voice. Yeah. All of that is where your voice resonates and the kind of like the bone structure and the sinuses, all of that is very important to the particular tone that you produce. And she was like, well, I don't want to take that risk. And so young Lauren, who envisioned this great career as a singer, was like, well, I couldn't possibly take that risk. And then I grew up to be a feminist and I was like, well, you know, why would I change my face? Like literally, why would you do that?
Isn't that crazy?
There are people who I was good friends with at the time who I stopped speaking to because they were still doing theater. And I felt like I was failing by walking away from it. And I feel like that was a really shitty thing to do, like to just ghost my friends who were like had the courage to keep going.
Yeah, I can relate. And the failure, like say failing in music versus writing, which one hits the most?
That too. That's really embarrassing in singing. Like I write about that in the book. You know, I give a couple of moments of like abject failure as a singer in the book, and it's just so public. Like your voice, you know, cracking or not quite hitting a note. I had to do some singing for this book, for the audio version of the book. You know, the beginning is like, I'm in my voice lesson in 1991 or whatever, and I'm singing this Italian art song. And the way that I have it in the text, you have like the lyrics of the song and then my internal monologue. So like we had to figure out a way to do that so that you could get both the song and my commentary on it. So I sang it. I did a recording at home of myself playing the piano. I laid down the piano track and then I laid down the voice track. And I was so nervous about this stupid, like in the audiobook, like the whole point is I'm like 13 years old and learning to sing. And not a good singer, or like, you know, good enough, but like not like accomplished. And I was like, I should be training for this. I should be getting ready for this. And I was like, no, I'm going to need to like sing in a way that's kind of vulnerable, and the tonality isn't amazing, and whatever. I'm not going to go there, but like it felt so embarrassing to sing on the audiobook. But you know,
how funny.
It was okay.
How funny
so
is that?
it's a nice thing if, you know, people are interested in listening to the audiobook. That's like a little extra.
Oh, I'm so dying to go on, Lauren, do it now. Go on.
I can't do the Italian stuff because I'm not warmed up.
I guess there is this pressure in the music industry, which sounds so obvious, but I guess I hadn't really thought of it before, about how you're meant to sound, and it's all shaped. Now, let me know if you agree with this, that it's all shaped by a patriarchal view, I guess. Would you agree with that?
I would say that in the music industry, it's not only patriarchy or misogyny, it's also racism and capitalism.
Yes.
That there's just this complex network of forces that are combining to make it so that certain people are expected to sing a certain way, and then their music is marketed to a specific audience.
Yes.
So I look at, for instance, Beyonce making her country album, and then country stations refusing to play Texas Hold'em when it came out as a single.
Yeah.
And, you know, the country community was like, who is Beyonce to just go from, you know, whatever, you know, R&B and pop the world that she usually moves into our world, like she's trying to cross over, but you can't just become a country singer. But she comes from that background. I mean, her family is from the South, and she grew up listening to country music, and you know, it is her cult. I mean, also as Rhiannon Giddens, the banjo player and singer, has gone massively out of her way to demonstrate, country music also was originated by Black people in the American South, and was just kind of like sectioned off into its own category and sold to Black listeners. And then country music was kind of reclaimed by like white labels for white listeners. So it was like Black music in a kind of mess over there, and then, you know, country music is for white people.
Yeah.
So we have this idea that country music is really white, but actually no, at its origins it's not at all. And so Beyonce's not crossing over, she's like working within her tradition.
Why are we pushed into these narrow ideas of how we're meant to sound, do you reckon?
I think it makes it easier for the record companies to sell the records if they're like, right, this is the category, this is how we're marketing it, this is who we're marketing it to. You know, it's just easier to put people in categories. You see it in publishing too. I mean, like Flaneuse, my first book, like is sold in travel sections of bookshops, and I'm like, that's not a travel book. Like, people are going to be really disappointed if they buy that book thinking they're going to get a travelogue.
Exactly.
But it's like, oh, it's a book about a lot of different cities. It must be a travel book. So it's like, you know, these categories are not very helpful, and don't help readers get to the books they want or listeners get to the music they want. It's, you just sort of, people are kept in these little boxes. There's this really great book, I think it's called Broadway Belters and Blues Mamas, by a musician and composer and academic called Massia Sare, who writes about the ways that Black singers on Broadway will go into an audition, and she's been in many of these auditions, like casting, and they will be someone who can do everything from like a rock scream to like, you know, musical theater belting.
Yeah.
And the people who they're auditioning for will be like, take us to church.
Yeah.
And it's like, they can do so many different things, but you want them to sing this one kind of gospel music anyway. So
100%. And it made me think about literature as well, because I've heard, I can't remember who said it, but say with more experimental pieces, more male writers get the experimental stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
insane. For a long time, all like writing and translation that you got, and I mean, it's changed a lot thanks to, you know, people like Fitzcarraldo, but and other small independent presses. But like the kind of writing that you got in translation from other cultures into English was often by a man and often experimental. It was like, women don't write in other countries. And when they do, they write like narratives that confirm our ways of thinking about the world. They're very conventional.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big problem in writing too.
Big problem. Okay, and one of the main messages of the book, now let me know if I'm right, is finding your true voice. I got that.
Yeah, or like complicating the idea that we have a true voice, right? It's like finding your voices, I guess I would say.
Right. I think if we disagree, this is going to make an interesting conversation. Okay, first of all, you kind of slagged off Joanna Newsom.
I did. I'm really sorry.
I love her.
No, people love her. Some people love her. Other people don't.
And then I wouldn't say you slagged off Britney Spears, but they're famous for having these really girly voices, right? Yeah. And then you've got this passage that goes, I want to say something similar to these singers with their little girl voices. This isn't just a song, this is your life. Mm-hmm. Sing for your life. Sing with the hot blood that is coursing through your veins. Sing for the 100 billion nerve endings in your body. Sing for the joy and the jouissance. Is that how you say it?
Jouissance.
Jouissance. Sing like you're going to come. Sing like you're singing to survive, which I love. But... correct me if I'm wrong, you're basically saying that there's this idea that soft, high, breathy voices can sound a bit pleasing or performative, like women are shaping their voice because they won't always be taken seriously. Is that right?
Well, I think that I'm trying to differentiate between... So Britney Spears is a really good example.
Yeah.
There's footage of Britney Spears when she was much younger singing Love Can Build a Bridge in this big, like, I'm trying to remember the name of the mother-daughter. I'm like blanking.
Is this when she was a teenager?
Yeah, she's a teenager, and it's this song that was sung by the country singers, and they're the Judds, the mother-daughter. And they have these big, like, country voices, and so Britney Spears was doing her best, like, Mama Judd, love can build a bridge. And then she becomes a pop star, and she's singing, oh, baby, baby, It's a stylistic choice. That's not her voice.
It's 100% a stylistic choice.
Yeah. It is a decision to make her voice sound like that. And I've read interviews with people around her that were saying that she and Christina Aguilera were coming up at the same time. They were both in the Mickey Mouse Club together. Christina Aguilera was the one who was going to have the big voice.
Yeah.
Britney Spears had to then differentiate herself by having this, sexy baby voice, the like, oh, baby, baby. And that's not her voice. That's a voice that she can do. I want to hear what else she can do because I know she can do something else. And I've read, heard tell that she has been frustrated with that herself, but like she's not really making music now, so I don't know, what her voice would sound like if she were like singing with her whole body and not just this small little like breathy thing in her throat. Joanna Newsom, I take to task for this like affectation. It's like you see people doing this on YouTube. There's this hilarious guy. What does he call it? He's like, welcome to my shop. We got bananas and avocados. And it's just this like twisting of vowels that Billie Eilish does, for instance, when she first started out as a singer. It's just like, they call it, it's not yogurting, that's something else. Cursive singing, that's it. You're just doing something like to the vowels to like make them a little bit fancy. And it's an affectation that bothers me. Like, I can't stand it. Lots of people are fine with it, but it gives me the ick. So the chapter that you were just quoting from, Little Girl Voices, comes out of something that we were taught in drama school, and then also something I heard or read Judy Chicago. No, I saw her saying it in a YouTube interview. So when you're training in theater, I mean, you have a background in theater, I think you were just saying, you're like doing a lot of voice work and trying to learn to use all the resources of your body to create this, actorly voice that can be heard at the back of the theater and, kind of Shakespearean, be able to recite a sonnet like Judi Dench on the Graham Norton show, like you have this kind of theater voice. And so that's what we were going for. And she was saying like, don't give me your little girl voices. I want to hear your like theater voices. So there's that. And then in Judy Chicago's case, she was talking about these young women who would come to her in the program that she was doing in California. I want to say like 40 years ago. The one that did Women House.
Yeah.
What the name of the program was. And she was like, they would come to me and they would have these teeny little girl voices that were very breathy. And I would say to them, to be an actor or to be an artist, you have to like be speaking from your whole body and not just in this teeny tiny little girl voice.
Okay, let's say Britney Spears got told by her record label to put on that voice, right? Let's say she didn't.
Yeah.
Why in the first place is the concept of a female voice, why do we only respect women that sound a bit more serious or masculine? You know, why are we not good at recognizing these higher voices or girly voices are strong in their own right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Completely. And so I ended up in that chapter, I think it ends with FKA Twigs, who, when I had first heard her voice, I was like, what's she doing? Like, why is it so like, you know, like girly, ooh, oh, so high. And then I actually like paid attention. I was like, okay, well, let's get to grips with FKA Twigs. I fucking love FKA Twigs. Like, she is fucking goddess. And she is, I think, specifically doing exactly what we're talking about, kind of singing in a very high, like ostensibly girly, love me, aren't I sweet voice, but it's incredibly subversive.
Yeah.
And the things that she's saying with that voice are like filthy sometimes and like amazingly so. Like, so it feels like a very subversive kind of enterprise to be using this girly voice in a very like assertive and feminist and like, yeah, centered way.
Right, am I right in saying this? So FKA Twigs, yeah, she has got that girly voice, but she's considered cool as heck.
Yeah.
Punk.
Yeah.
And she's doing her weird stuff. So so it's almost like that's endearing and interesting all of a sudden.
Yeah, it counterbalances the girliness.
I'd love to see a woman like the Britney Spears that hasn't been told by a record label, that has that girly voice, and you're still being taken seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And also, Lauren, okay, enlighten me over this. So this is the question. It's a bit wordy. How does our conception of the female voice become further complicated by trans vocal training? Because I think you mentioned that. Was it in Sweden or Stockholm or something?
In Copenhagen, yeah, in Denmark.
Trans people get free
voice lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I met a trans performance artist called Fawn in Copenhagen, and I was telling her about my project and asking, you know, what her experiences were as someone who had transitioned, and how she thought about her voice as a woman. And she said, well, the city of Copenhagen gives free voice lessons to trans people so that they can learn a new vocal identity to go with their new gender identity or with their affirmed gender identity. And she was saying, that there are all of these like pitfalls, you know, in terms of like I couldn't tell what she was trying to suggest about her teacher, if she liked her teacher or not. But there's the suggestion that she was being indoctrinated into a kind of version of femininity that she found very politically kind of, you know, was a bit skeptical of. And that as a woman, she was being taught to use her voice to kind of make people like her as well as to get her point across.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Again, it makes me think, so what is our true voice? Because I've also been reading Fame Sick by Lena Dunham recently.
I really want to read that.
It's good. And I was watching her interview with Drew Barrymore, and I think it was on Ozempic or something, and she was like, people say to her, well, you're rich, why are you not doing it? So it's like this assumption that if you've got the money, why are you not doing it? And Lena said something that was like, all these things, plastic surgery, whatever, we say we're doing it for ourselves, but we don't know. Like, it's gotten to that point where I don't know who I'm doing it for. And I felt that with the true voice. It's like, what is my true voice? I don't know.
Yeah. And yet there's so much like kind of social encouragement for you to find your true voice. Even, I mean, especially as a writer, it's like, oh, once you found your voice, you'll be a writer. Yeah. No, like the voice that I write in, if I write in one voice, is just the one that over time has started to feel the most comfortable. Like, I don't think that I have necessarily found my voice as a writer. Maybe in a few years I'll find it. It's like laying there, or like I left it under a hat or something. I don't know. There's this amazing musical theater singer called Teddy, whose last name I'm totally blanking on, who has charted his transition on Instagram from being an alto to, I think, a tenor now. And he talks about just how challenging it is to have trained your whole life as a female singer to then become a male singer. You just have to learn all over again who you are and the things your voice can do. And I just massive hats off to these singers who take that leap, and you think your voice is yourself. This is my true voice, the voice I'm talking in right now. But if I started transitioning, then I would lose this voice and have a different voice. And so then what's your true? There is no true voice necessarily. Or maybe Teddy Hind, I think is his last name. Maybe Teddy Hind would say, no, I found my true identity as a man and as a tenor. And I obviously support that. If he feels that's the true voice, then he gets to say that, not me. But I tend to take more of a pluralistic view that there are lots of voices that we can do, and we just use the ones that feel best to us.
I mean, we can even talk about accents as well.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, once I was on a press trip and there was this guy that is an editor for this art magazine, and he obviously heard I was Northern, and he sounded so, he spoke like the royal family. And he said, I'm from Liverpool and I'm naturally Scouse. And I said, what?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, because back in the day I had to change my accent because if you were from the north, there was this stigma attached to being from the north.
I mean, I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island. And I never had a New York accent because my mom doesn't really, and my dad sort of does. I mean, they each kind of do in their way. My mom has a couple of tells, the airport in Florida is called Fort Lauderdale, and she just says systematically Fort Lauderdale. She cannot change it. It's stuck there. Yeah. And so words like that my parents do have New York accents. It slips in, not consciously, or I'm not trying to not do it. So I think I sound like I'm from New York, but I don't have a New York accent. And that's not because I had one and I lost it. I just never had one.
Interesting. Yep. I'm really excited to talk about this. Okay, so you know that meme that goes, to be cringe is to be free?
Oh, I love it. I only heard about it after I finished the book, but I'm like, that's my book, it's a strap line.
That's what I mean. Loved it.
Totally.
That's why I'm saying, if you're scared of doing karaoke or you find it cringe, read Lauren's book.
Totally.
Read Lauren's book, because you've got this passage that goes... One is never to be seen in a state of hurriedness, embarrassment, or timidity. Am I going insane? That's a word, right?
Yeah.
Cool teenagers never show intense emotion, carefully avoid emotional outbursts, and have mastered an ability to disguise or camouflage behaviours perceived to be clumsy, awkward, inept, and above all else, embarrassing. In this way, cool becomes exclusionary. Now, I love this bit. To be cool is to be divorced from one's body and one's feelings. This, to me, runs counter to the impulse to make art, to play an instrument, to sing. I love that. And you know what, Lauren? Sometimes the things that you like come up on my Instagram feed. And I don't know if you remember this. You liked a video. I'm pretty sure it was you. And I wish, I was trying to find it a few days ago. It's about how basically there's a trend at the moment with women, let's say Charlie XCX, Gabriette, who's a model, Rachel Sennett, and it's kind of this unaffected female character. Does that ring any bells? And they're kind of, oh, maybe it wasn't you. And they're kind of unburdened, flat, effectless, everything is ironic. Have you heard of that? And have you noticed that?
No, but I get it. Yeah, I'm with you.
Right.
I haven't seen that video, but yes, that is a thing. Totally.
I wish I could find that video because it dissects it, and I
would love
can't
to
remember what it said. Because one of my questions was, because I thought you liked the video, I was like, why do you think that kind of detachment or almost emotionally emotionless vibe has become so popular?
Yeah.
And I guess in literature, have you noticed that, Lauren? There's also a wave of that. Yeah. And these girls or these writers that are kind of it's cool to pretend like you don't care, and it's really interesting.
It really bothers me when I see people acting cool.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to be like, what are you so afraid of?
Yeah.
Like, we're all just humans. We're all just trying to get along, join the club. And so cool to me is like, I mean, it's a term that originates in like the Black jazz world, and sort of goes back even further than that. I feel like,
I didn't know that.
I don't want to get this wrong, but I believe that it goes back to like Black men in prison adopting this sort of disaffected, stoic, like affect in order to survive and not to give anything to their guards that could be used against them. So it originated as a kind of means of survival. And so obviously in that respect, like all due respect, but the way that it's been co-opted by the white mainstream to pit people against one another, to pit women against one another, especially, that drives me crazy. Fucking Mean Girls, like, do my head in. Like, I just got an invitation to my 30-year high school reunion. I was like, oh my God.
In the US?
Yeah, in New York, it costs like $130 to go. And I was like, you'd
Connect.
have to pay me $130 many times over to get me in a room with those people. So mean, just like bullying and mean and not nice. And like, so cool to me is like being tolerant, being open-minded, being friendly, like reaching out. Likewise, similarly, being tactful and discreet and respecting other people's privacy and like not being nosy. And, I don't know, cool can be lots of things, but exactly what it is not for me is what I think, I think you're alluding to the like dime square kind of disaffected, cool, like crypto reactionary. I'm not into
can't relate either.
I'm like too old for these novels, and I'm not interested, and I find them politically suspect and feministly suspect, and like I just have way too much to read to spend my time on that.
Exactly. And can we agree though? Because one of the people that I consider cool is Courtney Love.
Oh yeah,
you mentioned various times throughout the book.
Yes,
I mean I can quote so many past interviews that she's said. Like, have you seen that one where she was like, dude, at 14 I was so ugly, but I thought I was the shit. And then she's like, it's attitude. It's all about attitude. That's how you're gonna get laid. It's not looks.
No, she's amazing. But like, she's such a great example of like the cool people were like, oh, Courtney Love, she's such a train wreck, like what a mess, female mess is like not cool. And no, I am way more on the side of Courtney Love and her, her train wreck mess. I mean, obviously just the things that woman has been through in her life like are unspeakable. So.
And so sharp, that.
So sharp. Oh my God.
Big reader as well.
Yeah. I mean, her grandmother was Paula Fox, who's like a great American novelist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think she's a great book called Desperate Characters. Really recommend it.
Courtney Love's...
I believe it's her grandmother.
Wow.
Her mother's mother.
Oh. Okay, and now to finish off, should we do our angel card reading?
Yeah, remind me how this works.
Okay, so you need to shuffle the cards. Okay. What's that notebook over there?
Oh, you asked me to bring my notebook, so I brought my notebook. It's okay.
Is it your diary?
I mean, it's my notebook. It's both a place where I'm like, I'm really sad today, but mostly not. It's mostly just like I go to France every couple of weeks, and I have a kind of regular writing practice where I sit outside and write in French in my notebook and just kind of reflect. I read this French art historian called Georges Didier Huberman. I have a book of his called Aperçu, which I just take with me, and it's like a prompt. Anyway, but it's also just like notes from meetings of like stuff to do with my son and like notes on Gertrude Stein. And so, yeah.
Do you write every day, would you say, in it?
Most days I write here oh yeah, sure.
I love touching people's notebooks.
One on my computer, a computer file.
Well, that's your notebook, eh?
I do try to write every day. It's graph paper. It's important that I have.
Right, I'm not going to read it.
No, it's okay. You can have a look.
I'm just looking at your writing.
It always has to be these moleskin graph paper things with the hardcover and the pocket in the back.
So special. I think I saw a poem or something there.
Possibly.
But I'm not going to. Wow. Thank you for bringing this in,
so bad
Lauren.
at shuffling. Oh, God. Okay.
Right. Okay. We'll psych it up.
Hang on.
And you need to think of a problem or a question.
not even able to shuffle. Here, let's do
That's
something
okay.
like
Some
that.
people can't. It works
can't.
anyway.
I can't. I only learned to whistle a couple of years ago, and I'm still behind on shuffling.
Seems like you're doing a good job of it.
Just
I kind of do it like that. Let's see your cover as well, because I've only got the PDF.
Oh, did they not? I thought they said
No, they did, but I'm in Portugal, and so I've got to send it.
Oh no!
Wow. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So talk to me. What are you going to tell me? What's plaguing you?
What's plaguing me? What is plaguing me? I'm very plagued. I don't know where to start.
How would we put that very generally in the way that you feel comfortable? You fine with us saying just personal stuff?
Yeah, personal stuff. That's good.
And that's fair. I'd much rather you not tell us and do it
Okay, good.
seriously than... Okay.
Okay, cool.
Right. See what card pops out for you.
Okay.
So just feel it, but seriously. I'm putting in the vibes.
Oh, it's
Oh, Lauren. Can you understand what that says?
No.
Well, you're going to love it. You don't have to worry about a thing.
Oh.
Right, I'm going to read the whole thing very fast.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
Okay, I'm going to read it. You're safe, and this situation is under perfect control. The angels have given you this card because you've been worrying over nothing, basically. And the more you worry, the more that sort of stuff is going to come into your existence. So just surrender those worries away, because you've got nothing to worry about. Things are much better than you're thinking. It's saying, ask your angels to surrender some of those worries. A happy ending is inevitable. And please just stop worrying, because those emotions are going to drag you down. The angels are with you. Everything's okay. Now I'm going to interpret that. Stop worrying. It's going to drag you down. You've got a bloody book tour to worry about now, and everything's much better.
Oh, that's amazing.
think.
Thank you so much. Can I take a picture?
Of course. And it's always such a pleasure to chat with you.
Oh my God, you too, Summer.
It made me so happy to know that I already know you, and I was like, okay.
No, it's like, you're great. You're amazing. Can I hug you? Is that okay? Can I come and hug you?
Yes, of course. It's always such a pleasure, Lauren.
I love you.